Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the third episode of Q's on the Move for our eighth season. Tonight, I have four health and wellness brothers, all fraternity brothers, who will be speaking on health, wellness, and the role that mentoring plays in that regard. So we have a jam-packed agenda. So I want to get right started with good brother Dr. Phillips. Dr. Phillips, how you doing today, team?
All good, team. How you doing today, Matt? Good
Everything
evening, my brothers, to everybody else on the panel.
Peace.
Great. We're gonna pull the brothers in a minute, but let me just kind of go around the horn, and then I'll come back to you, brother Phillips. I got brother Shareef in the house. Brother Shareef, would you just say hello to the brothers?
Peace and blessings, brothers. Peace and happiness.
All right, great. And last but not least, my good brother Tony Hayes. Brother Tony Hayes, how are you tonight?
Hey, I'm well, man. Greetings to the brothers, man, and everyone who's partaking in this great podcast tonight. It's good to be here.
Great. Well, on behalf of our district representative, Brother Amir Shareef, I want to bring greetings on the 2nd District behalf. And our focus tonight, as mentioned, is health and wellness. And so who better to start with than the chairman of health and wellness, Brother Dr. Phillips. Dr. Phillips, talk to us a little bit about what is it that the Health and Wellness Committee is all about?
Well, again, the Health and Wellness Committee has been I've been Health and Wellness Chair for a few years, and we have seen some things happen. So our primary objective in Health and Wellness was supporting health and wellness related activities that pertain to the Omega Psi Phi health agenda. That agenda includes emphasis on heart disease, diabetes, preventive health and the utilization of preventive health, mental health, screenable cancers, most prominently for Black men, including prostate cancer, but also lung cancer, colon cancer, which also can be screened. But that role changed when we got into COVID, and we started to see, unfortunately, some of the generational and legacy type of weight that has been put on our community, and it manifested as us being a community that bore a higher burden when it came to death and morbidity during the COVID pandemic. And a lot of that was attributed to our just not trusting the healthcare field. And then, the fact that we were getting a lot of bad information when it came to COVID, when it came to the vaccination. So again, one of the things that we tried to do in that moment was to bring the information to the brotherhood and the communities that we live in to help them make the best decisions for themselves. So we had a COVID task force. Some people called us the Four Horsemen, and it included my co-chair of the committee currently, Dr. Cedric Guyton, also included Dr. Keith Boykin, also included Brother Wanzi Gardner, and we were led by, at that time, our district representative Dr. Kelvin Ampofo, and we were able to weekly update the brotherhood and the community about the happenings of COVID. So in mentioning that, the committee has been, again, here to support any health and wellness related activities that any of the chapters in the district are providing, again, trying to provide expert speakers for these events that the brotherhood may have in our efforts to try to maintain a speakers bureau. But also, again, another big thing is to be flexible enough to deal with issues that may arise that we don't expect. Like, none of us expected a COVID-19 pandemic. So that's a little bit of what we're trying to do currently and have been doing at the Health and Wellness Committee on the district level.
Well, that's great stuff. I see in your bio that you're doing really, really good work at Stony Brook University. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I am a board certified family practitioner. Actually, this year is my 30th year in practice. I was a graduate of University of Maryland Medical School in Baltimore and went to undergraduate, where I, again, was fortunate to gain membership into our fraternity at Johns Hopkins University. I completed my residency at Stony Brook University, and fortunately stayed on as a faculty member. So in that path, I've just recently been promoted to full professor. So I am also a full-time professor in the medical school, but also my other role is the associate dean of student affairs. So I am out in the world talking about the importance of preventive medicine and accessing preventive health care tools, because unfortunately, one of the things that contributed to our community being heavily hit by COVID was unfortunately the burden that we bear when it comes to chronic illnesses like heart disease, like diabetes, like obesity, and the fact that we don't always take advantage of preventive health care testing like a colonoscopy or getting your PSA checked. So part of my role at Stony Brook is getting out in the community and trying to educate individuals that look like myself about the importance of trying to keep yourself as healthy as possible. In addition, one of my more recent, tasks that I have been really passionate about, because I came from a community in Queens where I did not have any doctors in my family, did not have anybody in my family that went away to college, did not have any doctors that I knew in the neighborhood. So I needed help. So one of the things that I'm very passionate, and that's why I think this conversation is particularly important, is I've been involved in establishing pre-med activities for undergraduate students from underrepresented and disadvantaged backgrounds, and trying to educate them on how medical school or other allied health professional programs are a realistic option for them. And then, providing that day-to-day mentorship that some of these young people need, because I know I wasn't having a whole lot of people reaching out saying, hey, are you okay? Hey, could you use some help? Because in many of those circumstances, I was the only, and when I mean only Black male, only person of color. So I'm trying to create an environment where we can get more students, because unfortunately, with the Supreme Court decision that we saw in the past couple years, we've dissolved affirmative action. And unfortunately, we have seen a drop in medical school admissions of Black and brown students. So again, this intentionality is very, very important. I'm glad we have a coach here, because one of the passionate things or strong things that I feel is that we have to go upstream. It's not helping anybody if I reach out to you as a junior in college and say, hey, you can be a doctor. So we have programs. We just had one at Stony Brook where we had over 700 high school students that came from the Long Island area and also all of the boroughs of New York City that came out to our institution for a day's worth of curriculum, just exposing them to how they could start to configure a path for themselves to get them to medical school.
Man, that's a lot of work, brother. I'm amazed every time I just have these particular activities, all of the brothers that I'm meeting that are doing worldwide work that is phenomenal work. And your statements lead me directly into our next guest, because he's been doing the work. We worked with him in the Ada Pi chapter, and for what I understand, he's just finishing up working with Brother Brewer in Jersey City for a phenomenal mentor program that he has focused on weight loss as well as self-defense. So I want to bring on Brother Shareef to talk about what his program is. So Brother Shareef, welcome again, brother.
Thank you. And I got to give props to the doc. A lot of accolades, a lot of good information, a lot of knowledge, man, that our community needs. It says Coach Shareef, but my name is Brother Wayne A. Shareef Jr., 5 Nunu 08, made a Nunu chapter. I run a program called Food, stands for Fighting Obesity and Obstacles Destroyed. And what I do, I go out in the community to schools and recreation centers and different programs, and I teach young people how to box. And I use the boxing as a backdrop to promote healthy lifestyles, fitness. The good doctor touched upon obesity. One of the main things that I started out, and I can actually say the reason why I started out is because we had a personal situation in our family with my daughter. She was diagnosed at a young age with some health issues, and of course, she's tremendous now. She's beat it, tenfolds. But it kind of put the catalyst, not kind of, but she was the inspiration that put the battery in my back to go out and to create a program. Not only, like I said, to just as far as to creating healthy lifestyles, but healthy lifestyles within kids, and especially in our urban areas, in our inner city communities like Camden and Philadelphia and Jersey City and Newark and East Orange and all of these different places where, we have some issues as far as our young people. And I've been doing it for about the past 12 years. It's 2005. So yeah, the past 12 years, and I've definitely been blessed. And similar to what the good doctor said, I mean, it becomes a point where information is key. The information is not only is it key, but it's vital. And not only is the information key and vital, but it's definitely needed. But also in that, you have to be able to show them what we need to do. I know Brother Hayes is on there, and that's my man, 50 Grand. He's going to touch on some things. But one of the things that I like to do, and I use boxing because, boxing is the ultimate cardio workout. Now we're not fighting. I always tell the students, we're not fighting. We're not doing all that. You want to do all that, you come down to the gym, and then we can throw the gloves and hands on you, and then we can see what you're about. But overall, it's a workout. Jumping rope, sit-ups, push-ups, throwing the hands, combinations, things of that nature. And not only does it, we focus on the workout aspect of it, but also, that stress relief. I know mental health is a big thing in our community. And you'll be amazed, once the kids get finished, it's like all that aggression, that anger that they had during the day, it's like it's out their system. And it's funny, and I don't want to, I want to stick to your point, Matt, but sometimes I teach adult classes also. Even, some of the adults, they're like, listen, I had a rough day. I need to throw these gloves on. So I just say that to say my program is to promote healthy lifestyles, to combat obesity, to make sure our people, Black and brown people in our communities, are definitely trying to better themselves in all aspects of health and fitness, and even parts of nutrition as well. I used to be a big dude. Like I said, Brother Hayes and I go back. He might remember me when I was, about 320. I'm not 320 no more, but I gained a little bit of weight. My wife she'd be back there, making a coquito and all that type of stuff. So she's trying to keep me fat so I can't be big sexy in 2025. But in all seriousness, though, we definitely promote healthy lifestyles, and we definitely promote proper nutrition in our communities and when we talk to the young people.
So what is the main thing that you're seeing with the young people today that is causing them to be obese? And you spoke about how the exercise kind of helps, but lifestyle wise, are the kids just not eating home cooked meals? Are they really doing a lot of, what's the deal with the kids, brother?
I don't know if you can see my thumbs. It's the video games. It's the social media. Now, it's not all the kids. It's not all the kids, but the majority. I have a nephew. Every 2 weeks, I take him to the barbershop, and we hang out. He likes going to the park, but he's like, after 5 minutes, he want to get back to his Nintendo Switch. So one of the big things is, kids don't go outside like they used to, unfortunately, you would go home, at least for me, I can speak, I would come home. We was latchkey kids, come home, have a little snack, change your clothes, put on your play clothes, and you went outside. And those are the things that, I think that we're missing. And then also, it's a bunch of different factors that I can talk about. But as far as that, it's just the fact that, a lot of kids, it's the whole Insta moment. Everything is microwave. Like if it's not instant satisfaction, or if my boy is not doing it, I'm not going to do it. And you have certain instances where kids get involved in my program, and they like getting involved in the program. And I'll say this, it's more of the young ladies. I have male groups, but a lot of the young ladies, like once you put them gloves on them, it's just something different with the young ladies. Even my adult classes, it's like it just brings out the monster in them. But as far as the kids, man, I think a lot of things, the reason why we have such a high level of obesity is because of the video games and things of that nature, is, the fact that, they're not made to go outside on a Saturday morning. They're not made to, kids don't ride bikes no more. You know what I'm saying? Like just little things that I did growing up. I'm not going to say, I don't want to pray to, paint a broad picture, but I could definitely say those are some of the factors that have led to it. And then every corner store has French fries and cheesesteaks and things of that nature. Most families do eat, but what are they eating? What are they consuming? You know, fried food, Popeyes, things of that nature. Not all, but it's on a large scale in our community, and it's definitely a detriment, to our young people.
Man, that's all good stuff, brother. When you came up to East Orange and you did the piece with the Ada Pie brothers
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
mentor program, they really, really got into it. We had
yeah.
one of the other brothers, brother George, he was doing a martial arts activity the same day that you did yours. And what I found out is that the kids, they don't really knuckle up anymore and they don't really share
Nah,
bedrooms
nah.
like we did back in the day. And so the skill of just
Yeah,
really being able to defend
but
yourself and be able to get somebody up off you, that's
yeah,
lost. And that kind of helps me to make the transition into with Brother Hayes. And I'm gonna circle back to you. But with Brother Hayes, you have a million hats on like the other two brothers. And one of the hats I wanted to kind of focus on today was the general fitness that the good work that you're doing to try to help the father lead by example in creating these opportunities for his family. And I know what a lot of times the boys aren't learning how to box or defend themselves because they don't have their father at home to teach them how to do it. So that's one thing that I think dads can kind of do in this regard. But I wanted to bring you on tonight specifically to talk about the role that fathers can play in helping to mold the fitness of their families, starting with themselves.
Wow, thank you. And again, to my other two colleagues, this is going to be, both of you are two acts that are hard to follow right now. I'll parent about. And I think Dr. J will appreciate this. I really think that primarily what dads can do right now, and just throwing an age range, if we're talking about fathers who are 40 and over on average, I think one of the best things that they can do right now in terms of being a role model for their children is to get themselves healthy, to live a healthy lifestyle. And it was talked about earlier about number one, making sure that they are getting all of their preventative testing done. Prostate exams and their colonoscopies, and making sure that they're getting annual physicals. Basically what I'm saying is that they need to walk the talk. I believe that's the phrase. We need to make sure that we are living our healthiest lives so that, well, one of the things that's out there now that's kind of evolved over the last 10 years or so is the whole longevity movement. If we date back, back in the day when Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lee Haney was leading the way in bodybuilding, or making bodybuilding accessible to just a common person. And then you had the whole aerobics move with Jane Fonda. Then Billy Blanks came in with his touch to aerobics and strength training and martial arts training. And then the whole wellness movement came in, where nutrition, whole big piece, mental health, big role. Now longevity movement is really about creating a body that is strong enough to help reduce the risk of chronic disease. There's a lot of good clinical data out there that just supports uh, not just getting the body strong, but getting all of our components of existence strong, our spiritual health strong, our mental health strong, and our physical health strong, so that when, hopefully, not when, but if and when situations like a pandemic arises, that we are positioning ourselves to be our healthiest self, to be our best self, to be our strongest self. So as a health coach, as a personal trainer, that's some of the things that I work with my clients about, because trust me, when Shareef was talking about women hitting the bag. I do adult training, and so I have a heavy bag in my studio, and believe it or not, when I take it down and they walk in and see that it's down, that's a very disappointing thing for them, because and release, and get a lot of the day off or the previous day off of their shoulders. So going back to the answer, I would just suggest that, just from a foundational perspective, just from a foundational point of view, get your health right. Know your numbers. I always like to tell the men in my chapter, A to Pi chapter as well, know your numbers. Know what your PSA is. Know what your A1C is, in reference to your glucose levels and diabetes, pre-diabetic, or being pre-diabetic or diabetic. You need to know those numbers. There's a whole bunch of numbers out there, and Jedan can revisit that when he speaks. But we need to know them. Have your doctor print that sheet out and make a copy and keep it in your phone. Know what your blood pressure is. I believe, brothers, there should be a blood pressure monitor in everyone's home. You can get them for under $50 at the drugstore. I take mine weekly. I like to know what mine is. And so those things are, I think, just foundational as a dad, wanting to lead his family into this next journey of ours that we're about to embark on for the next 4 years. I really think that having a healthy mind, healthy spirit, and healthy physical body to reduce the risk of chronic disease is the way to go.
Sounds great, brother. One of the best pieces of advice that you gave me was take everything in moderation. Don't try to do everything at the last minute. I asked you a couple of years ago, I was like, oh, Brother Hayes, I'm going to eat all kale salads and I'm going to let go of all of them, all of this and that. And you just said, whoa, brother. Take it in moderation, like in your voice. If I could do your voice, the other brothers know what I'm talking about. But you just kind of said, whoa, brother.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Take it in moderation, and then you follow that up with this great program. I think the whole fraternity should consider using something similar: the 8 weeks to a better Q, and you provide an opportunity and a template for the chapter brothers to get it together and work as a team, making those things happen. Talk to me a little bit about the 8 weeks to a better Q and how that is used and can be used for dads in the community.
Wow, what a great question. 8 weeks to a better Q really grew out of exactly what you're talking about. It grew out of the need to create a community of brothers of staying in touch with one another on a daily and weekly basis around eating healthy, around exercising, around talking about their health challenges with each other, creating a similar community that women tend to create naturally among themselves. When women get together, they are, talking about their health life, if you will. They are engaging one another about, what they're doing or what they're talking about with their OBGYNs, with their specialists, So 8 weeks to a better Q is about creating a community for Omega men, Black men. Yeah, that would be it. It's a great program, and we're there for about 8 weeks, and many brothers have lost weight. They've improved how they eat. I can't be more excited than to say that I can't wait till we start it up this March again.
Absolutely. Well, Darius, I'm going to spread it out to all four of us. I'm not seeing the other two brothers, but is Brother Dr. Phillips in? All right, so brothers, hearing from all of us, I kind of want to just plug in to Dr. Phillips. Brother, one of the things that as the chairman of the Mentoring and Fatherhood Committee, I'm looking to get dads more involved and the kids more involved in these type of things. And I'll be talking to you offline about, some ideas how to make the 8 Weeks to a Better Q or something of that nature, kind of tying into like a father and child activity. What do you say in regards to the role dads can play as well as mentoring in this whole health initiative?
Well, I think, it's already been said, the role of a father and a mother, because again, I just want to add on to what Brother Hayes said. It ain't just the brothers that are slacking on their preventive health.
Correct.
Women are dying at a higher, our women, Black and brown women, are dying at a higher rate from chronic illnesses like heart disease, than their non-colored counterparts. So again, we still need to, make sure we get that message to both sides. I do agree with what's been said. Like the father, if you are here to tell your family, that they need to live a certain way and you're not living that way. I mean, I know I could speak to, in my house, my dad was like, you talk this way, but he wasn't the best communicator. So, that example, unfortunately, wasn't always the best example for me as I was coming up. So I do think as an individual parent, you've got to be willing to, walk that walk and talk that talk if you're going to talk that talk. And that means, finding out what your numbers are. I know for me, again, I'm not here to push no vaccine on anybody, but when I got vaccinated with COVID, every day I put it out there just to let people know a brother like y'all, brother that hang like y'all, brother that talk ish like y'all talk ish is taking a step. I think the other thing, that we need to do as Omega men, because again, when we look at the kids, one of the other variables is schools not having the activities available that we might have had, like gym and, home economics where you were taught how to cook. Those things are not always being offered in our communities to our kids. So unlike where other communities get exposure to these things, which help them establish a healthy lifestyle from a young age, I think that, again, that's a place where as Omega and as chapters, we could put some pressure on the infrastructure to try to be better suited for our community. Again, looking at COVID, one of the reasons our communities suffered was we didn't have access to places where we could offer the vaccine. So again, that matters. But I think the last thing I would say is, like Brother Hayes said about 8 weeks to become a better Q, every chapter in the district needs to be involved in this undergraduate and graduate chapters, some type of health and wellness activity that you put out there to your support group. Because again, they see you doing it, they're going to start to do it. And I think, again, the last thing I would say is we have to make exercise look approachable. I know I see some videos of exercise, and I'm not saying that I didn't have a 6-pack or 8-pack when I was younger in the day, but right now, I don't know if I got that. So if I'm seeing people doing all these high-level exercises, if I'm just starting out exercising, I might be a little intimidated. So I think, I see Tony all the time doing, sometimes it's high-level stuff, but a lot of times it's very basic activities that you're able to do no matter what your fitness level is at a baseline. So I do think if we make activity, exercise, dieting, because again, when we talk about food, everybody don't live next to the Whole Food store. Everybody don't have Whole Food store money. Maybe the only thing they have is the corner store where they sell a cheesesteak sandwich and fries. So how do we make healthy decisions when it comes to that space? So I think it's multiple levels where we can make a difference as men of Omega, as chapters in the district, but also, again, as other heads of household and leaders that I know are watching this right now.
Got you. Brother Shareef, like, what are you doing? We got about 2 minutes left. What are you doing as it relates to that? And how can brothers get in contact with you to bring the food program to their chapter?
Well, can I just go back 1 second? I'm gonna take 30 seconds. One of the things, and Brother Hayes and the good doctor touched on it, but I'm gonna kind of bring it home. I'm a little wild man, so just bear with me. But bros need to be mindful of ED. And if you don't know what ED is, your woman will let you know what ED is. So if your health is not on point, you may suffer ED, and it comes from high blood and obesity and visceral fat, things of that nature. So, bros and men as a whole, especially black men, we need to be mindful of the things that we're putting into our body, because once that ED comes down on you, then you're going to have a whole nother conversation, a whole nother outlook. I had that problem. I don't have that problem. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You know what I mean? But in all honesty, we definitely have to be mindful, because those things, and here's the thing, like, we joking and I'm laughing about it, but that plays a role, or and maybe the doc could attest to it, that plays a psychological aspect on us as men, because we're prideful, our ego, and things of that nature. And if it gets to a point where we can't satisfy our woman, we're like, oh, well, something's wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? Or we become depressed and things of that nature. But to answer your question, for anyone that's interested in my program, Fighting Obesity and Obstacles Destroyed, you can reach out to me, W.A. Shareef Jr. at fitandfightingobesity247.com. I know I said a lot. I'm on Instagram, Fit and Fighting Obesity 24/7. I'm on Facebook. I'm on all the social media. Your boy got y'all back, y'all TikTok, so I'm gonna definitely use it, to my benefit, to promote and market myself in that aspect. And we're gonna keep doing what we do, man, for the young people, for the adults. In North Jersey, South Jersey, Philadelphia. Can I give a quick shout out, Matt?
Do it, brother.
Okay, listen, so alhamdulillah, I say all praise is due to the Most High for granting me this opportunity. Shout out to my daughter, Elizabeth. Shout out to my wife, Anitra. My Fit family, shout out to y'all at Camden. Shout out to my Crack family. Shout out to my Latina family. Shout out to all the bros that support me. Shout out to all the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority that support me, because I do programming with them, and the Zeta Z5B. Listen, I'm just giving a shout out, man, because, listen, I ain't never been on TV before, so, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make it to Tamara Hall, man. I'm trying to get to Tamara Hall, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get to Tamara Hall. So, but listen, shout out to my little sister, little big sister, Portia. She is, and I just want to say this real quick in all seriousness. She and my wife, they're besties. But a few years ago, she kind of came to me on a low and was like, I need to make a change. We started doing at-home workouts. She took it to the next level. She won a pageant a few weeks ago for Miss Full Figured in Pennsylvania. Beautiful young lady. She looking for a man, but she also lost a lot of weight. She looks beautiful now, and I'm definitely glad that I could assist her with that. My wife is on the program. She done lost some weight. She keep throwing in my face. She lost 25 pounds, so that means I got to get up every morning and get my behind back in the gym. But major shout out, man. And like I said, anybody trying to reach me, I'm on all the social medias, and we can put the information in the chat at a later date and time. But I appreciate all the support, and we're going to keep rocking, getting these young people healthy, getting our men healthy, because we trying to stay away from that ED for 2025. You know what I mean?
Brian, you make it hard for Tony Hayes, man. How you going to follow that?
Hayes is my man.
He's going to last next time, bro.
It's the enthusiasm, Hayes. It's the enthusiasm.
87. What we got, man? We got this conference coming up.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking to the dads. We got the hospital that's gonna come through, looking to sponsor some of our stuff. Are you excited about it? And what are some things you're gonna be telling the dads at this Fathers Conference that Mayor Green and Superintendent Irving are putting together?
Yeah, I am excited, actually, and flattered that you invited me to be a part of it. I think I've kind of addressed a lot of what I will be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to thank for actually segueing to one of the things that I hope you were doing. That is just, fundamental exercises that you can do at home, body weight resistance exercises, or just those types of exercises that you can use with just a 15, 20-pound dumbbell for what we call a every minute workout. It's about 15-minute, 20-minute workout. These types of workouts are just as effective as having a gym membership. So, I just want to be able to share with the dads that, there are exercises that you can do at home with your children, with your family, as a way of leading them into a healthier lifestyle. So that's a great thing that I think, that's what I'm going to be doing to just raise awareness about, exercise and health in that regard.
Got you.
but we just got to get them strong, you know. And then I think too that I will probably you know, see how I can Brother Shareef's publicist and agent for his journey towards Tamron's show. So work on that.
I ain't mad at you. So Brother Phillips, I'll end with you, brother. How can the brothers get in contact with you like I did? It was real simple. I mean, all I did was just I saw your name on the website, and the name and the number and everything was there. I clicked it, and right away you called me right back. I think we met at the somewhere. We met somewhere. I think you were on stage, and then I came right after you. It might have been the shirt sleeve conference, but in any event, getting in contact with you was the easiest thing possible. You called me right back. It was that simple. I assume it's that simple for everybody else, but how can people get in contact with you to start to spread this word and all of the good work that you're doing?
Well, again, you know, the district work site website is the place where you can get my information. I would say for the brothers, that would be the place. But, you know, other than that, my email is Jedan, JEDANP 68 @gmail.com. And you can reach me that way as well. But I would go with the fraternity website. You know, brothers, if you have somebody that knows me and they give you my contact, I'm fine with that. You know, again, it's all about helping people. So I'm not really, I think that, I think that, this is what I'm about. So, I don't really have any problems with people reaching out for this reason. Now, I'm not going to take the place of your own doctor and try to give you medical advice over the phone, but, I could definitely, be a resource for you. And the other thing, for our younger brothers that are in college, undergrad, and they are, again, trying to go to medical school, I'm here as a resource for you to give some information, because I know the process is not an easy one and there's a lot of steps involved. So, again, I'm here in that way as well.
Gotcha. Well, brothers, we went a little over tonight, but we had a lot of rich thought. Brother Hayes had a last closing comment.
No closing comment. I just didn't have a chance to give my contact information, and I forgot about that.
Okay.
My email address is very easy, CoachTonyHayes@gmail.com. CoachTonyHayes@gmail.com.
Got it. And we will in post, we'll be putting some more information up with the website and all that kind of stuff as well. So brothers, with that said, the DR is really pushing for health and wellness, and mentoring is going to play a major role in that. We're asking that every time we post something to use the hashtag Omega Mentors, and that hashtag will help to push our message and to get things moving in the right direction. Until next week, our hope is that we will have another great show. It seems like every week we get better and better and better. This was a phenomenal show. I want to thank you, brothers, for coming out and hoping everybody got the information that they needed. I ask you to hold on for a second. So Darius, thanks for the night. Take it away. Brothers, give me about 2 minutes. We'll be right in.